Have you ever wondered what kind of actor can make you feel a whole story just by being there? Not with grand speeches or big actions, but with something quieter, an innate melancholy, a fragile depth you can almost touch through the screen. Someone whose very presence feels irreplaceable. That actor is Adrien Brody, the youngest man ever to win the Oscar for Best Actor.
I heard you dress well, Mr. Shelby. But now I see. Not so well as me.
Born in 1973 in Queens, New York, his world was colored by art from the start. His father, a history teacher and painter. His mother, a photographer. Imagine that childhood, not just seeing images, but learning to feel them. That sensitivity took root early. At 12, he stepped on stage as a magician. And when the applause washed over him, that was it. The spark was lit. His mother saw it too and nurtured that flame. By 15, he was on screen for the first time and finally home, playing an orphan. Even then, you could see a depth beyond his years. He studied his craft seriously at Queen's College and soon landed a small but noticeable part in The Hill. Through the 90s, he worked steadily. He even shared the screen with stars like Keanu Reeves. But fame, that remained elusive. While Hollywood glittered with blockbusters and new icons, Brody was in the shadows, grinding away in roles that few saw. But here's the thing, he didn't break, he bent, he adapted. He disappeared into parts, a twisted killer here, a romantic lead there. It was a silent apprenticeship, and all that quiet work, it was building something profound beneath the surface. Then came 2002, the call from the legendary, formidable director Roman Polanski for The Pianist. The story goes, Polanski searched through over 1,400 actors. None were right, until he met Brody. And then, Brody became Władysław Szpilman. He didn't just act, he starved himself, shedding nearly 30 pounds. He learned Chopin. He isolated himself. What emerged on screen was not a performance. It was a haunting. A man stripped to his soul by war, holding on to humanity by a thread. It was a masterpiece of silent endurance. At 29, Adrien Brody made history, the youngest Best Actor Oscar winner. That moment on stage, kissing Halle Berry, it felt like the world was now his. But the world doesn't work like that. The years that followed were complicated. He worked constantly, but that seismic defining peak of The Pianist cast a long shadow. Yet, in that valley, he gave us Gem, his raw, bluesy turn in Cadillac Record. And then, Detachment. In Detachment, he is Henry Barth, a substitute teacher floating through a broken system, carrying a world of pain behind his gentle, distant eye. It's a performance that doesn't shout, it aches. You feel his compassion. He kept challenging himself, a sinister villain in Wes Anderson's colorful The Grand Budapest Hotel, a determined journalist in 1942, the iconic escape artist, Houdini. Always compelling, yet the cultural spotlight had shifted. After a powerful stint as the terrifying mafioso Luca Changretta in Peaky Blinders in 2017, he stepped back. He almost vanished for years. What was he doing? He returned to his first love, painting. And then, in 2021, he returned to us, refreshed, focused. And in 2024, he delivered a performance in Brutalist as architect Lars Lottes, so masterful, so fully realized, that it earned him another Oscar nomination, 22 years after his historic win. A full circle moment that took everyone's breath away. And on that stage, he spoke for 5 minutes and 40 seconds, the longest Oscar acceptance speech ever. He didn't rush, he savored it. He earned it. Looking at Adrien Brody's journey, it's not a fairy tale, it's something better. It's real. It has crushing lows and breathtaking highs. As he himself might say, acting, like life, is a long road. How could it possibly be smooth all the way? But maybe it's the bumps and detours that give his characters their lasting weight. They feel lived in, like a melody you don't fully appreciate until you've lived a little yourself. It gets richer, deeper with time. His story reminds us that brilliance isn't about constant noise. Sometimes it's about the quiet resilience to endure the silence, to trust your own depth, and to always be ready for your next act. Because the curtain never really falls. It just waits for the light to find you again.